75% of our world is water, while 25% is dry land, but the surprising thing is that no one has ever seen this 25% land in its entirety. According to an estimate, more than half of the land has not yet been explored. This unexplored part of Earth actually includes the Arctic region, dense, terrifying forests, dangerous mountains that touch the clouds, and endless deserts where it is considered extremely difficult for humans to reach. But still, at least we know what's out there in these places. However, you'll be surprised to know that the biggest part of the Earth is one about which humans know almost nothing, and that part is the ocean. Humans know only about 5% of this ocean. We don't even know how deep it really is, what kinds of creatures other than fish are found in it, or what secrets are hidden at the ocean's deepest point. Welcome once again to Discover TV's videos. The ocean is so deep that our imagination can't even grasp it. According to an estimate by researchers and scientists, if we cut down all the mountains, all the land, and all the buildings and throw them into the ocean, our entire world would be filled with 3 kilometers of water. To understand this estimate about the ocean's depth, we begin at the ocean's surface. The area up to 40 meters below the ocean's surface is where scuba divers are allowed to go. Below that, at a depth of 93 meters, lies the wreck of the famous British ship Lusitania, which sank in 1950. Just a bit further, at 100 meters deep, diving becomes extremely dangerous for divers. At this point, if deep-sea divers aren't careful, the water pressure can cause different parts of their bodies to stop functioning. But even with all this, an Australian free diver named Herbert Nitsch set a world record by diving to a depth of 214 meters on just one breath. Going even deeper, at 330 meters, we have the world record for scuba diving, held by Ahmed Gabr from Egypt. If Ahmed had gone 111 meters further down, the depth would have been 443 meters, which is the same height as the Empire State Building. Slightly further below, at 500 meters deep, is the level where the world's largest creature, the blue whale, can dive. A blue whale weighs 150,000 kilograms and can reach this depth right after diving into the ocean. The American Seawolf submarine, which is an advanced nuclear submarine, also cannot go deeper than 500 meters. Beyond this point, water pressure starts to become intense. At a depth of 535 meters, the water pressure on a human is equal to having a heavy, fat buffalo standing on them. But emperor penguins have the capability to withstand such pressure, which is why they can dive as deep as 535 meters.
Going further down, at 830 meters, you'd reach the height of the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa, if it were turned upside down and submerged in the ocean. This is also the point to which sunlight can still reach, but a little deeper. At 1,000 meters, begins the part of the ocean known as the scary zone. Below this, sunlight cannot reach, and there's only darkness everywhere. At this point, the water pressure reaches 1,500 psi, equivalent to an African buffalo standing on a coin. Surprisingly, giant squids are found in this scary zone, terrifying creatures of the deep sea. Going further down, at 1,280 meters, leatherback sea turtles are found. These turtles are larger than any other turtle in the world and can weigh up to 700 kilograms. At 2,000 meters, the black dragonfish is found, completely black like the darkness of the sea. It can only be seen with a flashlight, though its own eyes are so sharp it can see even in the dark. Going even deeper to 2,250 meters, creatures like the sperm whale and the terrifying colossal squid are found. The colossal squid can grow up to 14 meters long, weighs 750 kilograms, and its eyes are as big as dinner plates. Its tentacles have sharp teeth, allowing it to grip and kill its prey. The colossal squid and the sperm whale are enemies. The squid can even trap a sperm whale, which weighs as much as 2 road rollers, and kill it. The marks you see on the dead sperm whale's body are made by the squid's tentacles. This depth is only the beginning. At 3,800 meters, the wreck of the famous Titanic still lies. 200 meters further down, at 4,000 meters, begins the part of the ocean known as the abyssal zone. Shockingly, the water pressure here reaches 11,000 psi, equivalent to a heavy elephant standing on a coin. And in this zone, bizarre creatures are found, like the fang-toothed anglerfish and viperfish. At 4,781 meters, the wreckage of a battleship that crashed in World War II still exists. Going further down, at 6,000 meters, starts a part of the ocean known as the hadal zone. This name comes from the ancient Greek religion in which Hades was considered the angel of death. It was believed that Hades took evil souls into the depths of the sea, where they'd witness hell. In this zone, water pressure becomes 1,100 times higher than at the ocean's surface. Here, the pressure is so intense that it could rip apart a bulletproof car in an instant. Going even deeper, 6,500 meters is the depth to which the US Navy's research submarine can reach. It's called the DSV, and it was this deep ocean submersible that discovered the Titanic.
At 8,848 meters, you'd find the peak of Mount Everest if it were turned upside down and submerged in the ocean. After that, at 10,908 meters is the point that James Cameron reached in his submarine in 2012. But in 1960, two people named Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard set a record by going even deeper. In a submersible called Trieste, they went to a depth of 10,091 meters. It took their sub-5 full hours to reach this depth, but the water pressure here was so intense that a crack formed in one part of the submersible, forcing them to ascend immediately. Going further, 10,972 meters is the same altitude at which a commercial airplane flies. The feeling you get when looking down at Earth from an airplane window is the same as how deep this part of the ocean is below the surface. And finally, the deepest point that humans have ever reached is even deeper than the cruising altitude of a commercial airliner, approximately 11,000 meters. The person who reached this point was former naval officer Victor Vescovo, who accomplished this feat alone in a deep-sea submersible called the Limiting Factor. This place in the ocean is known as Challenger Deep. Despite descending 11,000 meters or 35,000 feet from the surface, researchers believe this is not even the deepest point in the ocean. It's just the deepest point humans have managed to reach so far. Everything we've seen in the ocean and every place we've explored only makes up about 5% of it. That means we still don't know what creatures inhabit the remaining 95% of the ocean or what secrets are still hidden there. We hope you'll give this Discover TV video lots of likes and shares. Thank you so much for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.